for the week of May 12th, 2020. Welcome to This Week in Cincinnati, the podcast dedicated to bringing you the news of the Queen City without the filter. This week, we are talking about saving Charlotte the pig, free parking, fighting Corona with our poop, and much, much more.
Welcome to glorious Cincinnati.
It is sensational for Cincinnati.
It's skyline time.
And this one belongs to the Reds.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Fun.
I
I think it's more fun when I don't read the intro before I say it.
That's how the professionals do it.
Yeah, you got to get that. It was the money reaction there,
It's a good reaction.
right? You like the ellipses, you could feel it.
Constantly making sure that Taulbee didn't put errors. Producer Ryan, I should say,
Yes.
didn't put a bunch of typos in there. For sure.
Exactly.
This feels very different. We're sitting at a
Does
tall
it?
table.
We are.
And we're 6 feet apart.
Yes.
And you have 2 drinks
I do.
front of you.
I do. Can't
And-
over caffeinate.
Yeah, or overhydrate.
Gotta hydrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how was your week?
It was another speedster. I can't believe that it's over again already. But Mother's Day was awesome. Super chill. We actually never go to restaurants on Mother's Day. I used to work in food and beverage, and so the major holidays I never go to restaurants because it just yikes. It's like PTSD. But so Sandro always makes brunch. He really stepped it up this year. He made huevos rancheros with chorizo and potatoes and special sauce and homemade fried tortillas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Homemade fried tortillas.
Homemade fried tortillas.
So he
it was delicious.
Well, no, the tortillas weren't homemade.
I do not believe he made the tortillas, correct, but he fried them.
But he fried them.
Yes, he has made tortillas. I have made tortillas, but I think we did store-bought tortillas. But I had mimosas and cinnamon rolls. I carved it out. And then we went down to Smale Park. I was a little disappointed because I went to go get a coffee somewhere and I checked their Google hours to make sure they were open. And then there was a handwritten sign on their store that said they were not open on Sundays. And it's really easy to update your Google hours. I know how to update my Google hours and I'm open 24 hours a day. I don't really have hours. So you would think a business, especially in this time, would know how to open their Google hours or change their Google hours and would fix it. I'm not going to call them out by name here, but I was disappointed. But yeah, we stopped into Taste of Belgium for a nice coffee and a hot chocolate for the kids and got a couple cookies and went and chilled at Smale Park until the thunderstorm came. Luckily, we were close enough to our car.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, really fun, really chill Mother's Day. So that was good. And I really don't remember anything else I did last week because it was just work.
That's the mimosas, I guess.
It could be.
So I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of oranges because I thought, I'd make freshly squeezed orange juice with the mimosa or with the Prosecco. Prosecco.
Yes, I had Prosecco.
See,
It's
well,
just Prosecco.
it's pronounced Prosecco.
It's not.
I feel like you get to make
thank
up like the words you say get to have
Do I
an
make them
accent
up?
associated with them. And when I do
you-
an
maybe
obvious
Prosecco,
Italian
Prosecco. There
yeah,
you go. That's a
whatever.
little better.
I should be allowed to
There's
do
no-
that without being
There's no
critiqued.
king in Italian. It's like
I didn't know that you spoke
Hebrew.
for all of Italians. But anyways, so
I took an Italian diction class in college.
yeah. How'd that turn out?
Good. It was super easy. I got 100.
Good. Yeah. Anyways, so apparently, I was like, we have one of those Vitamix blenders, whatever they are.
Those are the best.
And I got a bunch of oranges and I peeled them, I put them in there, and then I thought, this will make juice. And it doesn't. It makes
one way to do it.
It makes a frothy, foamy substance.
Yes.
And then I thought, I'll just take that and then I'll put it through a cheesecloth or something.
Okay,
and then I'll try to squeeze out all the pulp. That didn't work.
No.
So
it
I
sounds
have
like a valid solution.
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Everything made sense in my head. So I had 4 pitchers that I was moving stuff between and 3 different It never worked out correctly. So then
Did you guys have some Tropicana in the fridge?
but we just ended up scooping It was 3/4 prosecco, and then a little bit of, we would just like scoop on. It was almost like the latte foam, which is the orange stuff.
Ooh, okay.
So
fun.
Very fancy.
Yeah.
I had, I think, a glass and a half, and I had a headache the entire rest of the day.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Same thing with my wife.
Yeah, it's the sugar. I find it's not even the alcohol; it's the sugar. Like whenever you start putting juice in something, and I ended up with a headache yesterday too.
So then we went to the nurse. We went to Natorp's nursery,
the best.
And when we got there, my wife doesn't get out to any place. I'm the one that has to go in everywhere.
Okay, right.
You know?
Well, you're the one that's exposed on the daily regularly, so that makes sense. Yeah.
Anyway, so she's like, "Do we need masks or gloves?" I'm like, "We're going to be walking around outside." Like, I'm sure it's fine.
Okay.
So we get there, and Natorp's is indoors, first of all. I mean, it's covered, the majority of it.
Right.
And everyone is wearing masks and gloves. It's like, except for us.
Oh, no.
And, my wife feels like, if she were to go out in public, everyone would be wearing masks and gloves at all times.
Yeah.
And it's not so much the case. I'd say it's 50-50.
See, I live on the west side, so nobody's wearing masks and gloves.
Well,
it gives me like, I'm like Jackie.
Up in the
I'm
burbs,
like,
up in the burbs, that was the case.
Yeah.
And you walk in, and every employee's got like 2 masks on and gloves. So she freaked out a little bit. Like, are we now going to die as a result? Because obviously I'm in a contamination
you're probably just
zone.
being judged because everyone else was keeping you safe.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, you were fine. I mean, this is going to be a very, very difficult thing to navigate, and no one's going to make the right choice all the time. I wore my mask into Taste of Belgium yesterday to get my coffee. I wore my mask into the bathroom downtown at Snail Park because, meh. I mean, there weren't even any people in there, but it just felt like I needed to have a mask on in a public bathroom. But when we were out at the park, no mask on.
Yeah.
I don't know that there was any situation where I was within 6 foot of anyone at the park, but I mean, it could happen if you're walking on a trail and you walk by someone, but it's just you got to play the percentages. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, let's go ahead and get on down to it.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Well, in business, we have 2 stories this week. Cincinnati and Ohio are going to begin reopening. Last Thursday, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announced plans to start reopening much of the state. On May 12th, retail stores will begin opening. On May 15th, salons, barbershops, outside restaurants, bars, and patios can open. Finally, on May 21st, dine-in restaurants can open. Restaurants and bars are asked to create a floor plan that will comply with social distancing standards, where a party cannot exceed 10 people, and each party must be separated by 6 feet. Customers can be asked to wear masks by store owners, and for salons and barbershops, expect to be waiting in your car. More locally, Kenwood, Tri-County, Rookwood, and Cincinnati premium outlets will be opening on the 12th, but most of the food halls will be closed. Interesting, because I believe at Kenwood, Chick-fil-A has been open the whole time.
It has been.
Yeah, I mean, you can't sit there. You have to, everything has to be to go.
A lot of places are open in that regard.
Yeah,
but
for
you
sure.
just can't hang out.
Yeah. I know all of my salons that have reached out so far have said like they are requiring their customers to wear masks. Some of their buildings are requiring you to have a mask on just even in the building. They'll be wearing masks. The restaurant thing is going to be interesting. Because I believe I read the order, and I believe even the kitchen staff is supposed to remain 6 feet apart. I don't know if you've ever been in some of these smaller independent restaurant kitchens.
It's hard to.
I can't imagine how that's going to happen.
Well, I guess you got to, you hand the plate of food somewhere, and you walk. Then you take 3 steps back.
Well, you can
and
put
then
it
they
in
can
the
come
window
3 steps
or whatever.
forward.
But in the actual kitchen, like the staff are so
the grill's
close.
not that. I mean, you don't have that long of a grill that you
Yeah.
could put everybody 6 feet apart, unless you have one guy grilling.
Right. So it'll be interesting for sure. I mean, I'm sure everyone will be just doing their best.
Well, what I think is interesting, is how they come up with these solutions, because everyone's trying to get super creative.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So, they mentioned that you don't have to be 6 feet apart as long as you have physical barriers up, which is like plexiglass. Mm-hmm. So they're thinking about, okay, for all the booths, let's build a box. Or I saw this restaurant that was up in Canton that is putting in, they built basically shower curtains around every table, and then between meals they somehow wipe down the shower curtains, so everybody's sitting in a bubble, which might be a little warm, But yeah, that's where I think they're just getting creative. I was listening this morning to some guy who was, he has something that kind of purifies the air and will clean all, like all substances consistently. So it's just constantly being
just cycled,
cleaned and killing everything, but it somehow doesn't impact humans. That those will start, showing up in daycares and in restaurants, and then basically substances are constantly being sanitized. Yeah. Which sounds interesting.
Huh. Well, there's going to be a whole lot of new industry around this, that's for sure.
I think you're allowed to take your mask off when you eat.
Well,
I believe. Per bite.
I would hope so.
Well.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
It seems a little difficult. You have to eat. Everybody's going to be eating smoothies. Just stick the straw.
I guess so. Well, so that should be a fun time to go out there and be like, oh, I sat inside, a cardboard box and had a meal. And it was lovely.
There are a lot of downtown Cincinnati is going to be closing some parking lanes, some streets down fully in downtown and OTR, so restaurants can start putting more tables outside and even using the whole sidewalk and part of the street in some places. Hopefully it warms up. It's a little chilly right now, but so that'll be nice. And my biggest concern with all of this is you'll notice in everything I said was opening up, daycares are not one of them. And I understand the complications in opening up daycares, but I feel like people that work at a lot of these places probably rely pretty heavily on daycare. Well, so I don't really know how they go back to work.
Well, I know the schools are talking about next year doing
2 days in school.
Yeah, 2 days or half days or something. And it's going to totally screw with, everybody's plans.
Yeah, I mean, my kids are old enough and can walk to school. Yeah. So I don't have a problem, but it's definitely a huge concern. I don't know how people are going to do it. I know that, in the past when our kids were younger, there's no way we would have both been able to work or what we would have been able to do. I mean, it'll be interesting.
It will be interesting. Yeah. Well, in our second story, and what is becoming a weekly story, Cincinnati customs agents again found illegal contraband in the Cincy port. This week, it's 4 pounds of marijuana hidden inside disinfecting wipe canisters in a shipment from Canada that was headed to Barbados. Officers became suspicious after the drug detecting dog freaked out and X-rays showed something fishy. So what I think really happened was the people who were working in the customs department were like, oh, dude, that's like a ton of Lysol wipes. And they're like, let's open that and say it got lost in shipping, and we'll have Lysol wipes.
It's probably more valuable than the weed at this point. They had some weed like that they had already seized, and they just shoved it in there.
Well, part of my wife's Mother's Day gift this past weekend was I went to the store in the morning. I got some flowers. Yeah. And they also found that they had the disinfecting wipes there. And I got her 2 containers
see, you won.
That.
You won.
Oh, I tell you, I love going and finding stuff.
Yeah.
So
my godmother
is great on that end.
My godmother is a food merchandiser, and she works in different grocery stores. Yeah. So she's been working this whole time, and she'll call us up and say, "Hey, anything that you haven't been able to find, I'll see if it's like a scavenger hunt." And usually people are like, "Oh yeah, toilet paper or disinfecting wipes." This week I was like, marshmallows. We wanted to have, we had used the fire pit the other day and wanted to do s'mores, and we had baby ones for hot chocolate, but we didn't have big ones. Totally out. We ended up going the fluff route. It was fantastic. I mean, you don't roast them on the fire, but they were delicious. Yeah. But she was like, well, that's boring.
Yeah, my kids had s'mores a few times this week. Nice. So they somehow got them. Shipped from Canada. Well, I did look up, I went to hailmaryjane.com and they talked about how to ship weed. Because I think probably you could find drugs every day in the shipments. Sure. It's just a matter of tracking down where it is. So if you want to ship weed without getting caught, I'll give you some tips.
Oh, good.
Do you want to know these?
Definitely.
Okay. So
I have family in Colorado.
Okay.
I might have to get some stuff sent over.
Well,
give me some tips.
It's you recording that admission, not me. But use vacuum bags.
Okay.
Right. Number one, wrap it in multiple bags.
Right.
And wash them, like soap and water them after each time on the outside.
Oh, outside the bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't try to mask the scent. So, like, if you put dryer sheets in or something else, it's going to raise more suspicion.
Okay. Yep.
And then when it comes down to shipping the actual package, make it look very professional. Don't tape all the edges or try to seal up the scent, because that's a red flag. Don't handwrite the label. Print it out.
Okay.
Put a return address.
Yep.
That's better than not leaving any address. Now, there's mixed reaction to should you put down like your neighbor's address or just some random address?
Oh, right.
Because you're kind of getting them potentially in trouble.
The point is to put an address so it looks like you have nothing to hide, but you also don't want it to lead back to you.
Right. And you can't put a fake address, a fake return address, because then they'll know
it'll flag.
It's suspicious. And then they say go United States Postal Service.
That was going to be my next question, which is better, UPS or FedEx?
Some of the comments said FedEx is the worst when it comes to like really inspecting packages. Their security is the lightest, but a lot of people said the U.S. Postal Service is ideal. Ship priority.
Well, they're underfunded, so.
Yeah, I mean ship priority, which I guess does not allow them to open up any packages without a warrant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a thing, and yeah, so
wow,
there's a little tips.
Love when you go down your
from This
wormholes.
Week in Cincinnati.
Tips and tricks.
For those people who feel like they need to share medicinal only. Obviously, marijuana. And actually they said ship within the state if you're a legal, like if your state has legalized it. Anytime you ship across state lines is when it becomes, a federal crime.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
So anyone that wants to ship weed to us without our knowledge, you can do that by going to our website. And you can find our address.
Yep.
But we will not claim ownership of it if it comes here by mistake.
No, we won't.
Yeah.
We won't.
Okay.
Awesome. So, as we like to do, we've kept politics down to one story for the week.
Billions and billions.
Way back in 1996, then City Councilman R.I.P. Todd Portune came up with the idea to make the first 10 minutes of parking downtown free so people could quickly run errands with ease. Over the years, that has all but disappeared. Last week, City Council mandated a motion that any parking meter that could be changed to offer temporary free parking should be changed. That means over 1,225 spaces will be available for the free 10 minutes. That's 989 in neighborhoods and 236 in OTR. The initiative was headed by Jeff Pastor. Councilman David Mann was one of 3 that opposed the idea, saying, what can you really do in 10 minutes? What's the value of it? I think it should be 15 minutes. I think in 15 minutes you can validly get in and out of an establishment. It takes longer right now because of all of the everybody's waiting to pick up curbside pickup or whatever, so it just seems to take longer. But I think the meters are important because you have to have meters in front of businesses or else people are just going to park there all day, and you have to have that turnover. If it's expensive, people aren't going to park there for long. They're going to come in, go to the restaurant, and then leave. You don't want it too expensive. You don't want it prohibitive to people going to businesses. But I think a free 15 minutes is pretty awesome because then you can run in and grab a coffee where you may not stop to get that coffee if you've got to pay a meter.
Well, isn't the argument that, why not just make it 20 if we're going to do 15? And then why don't we just make it 30 and why don't we just do a free hour of parking? So you can do a lot in 10 minutes. And keep in mind that, you have a free 10 minutes. And if you go over an extra 5, the chances of that person walking by your car to ticket it.
Oh, I got ticketed in Hyde Park right off the square at 1 minute past my meter.
They're probably sitting there watching it, you think?
Maybe. I don't know. It was really obnoxious. It was like a $45 ticket. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was stupid. I was not happy.
I know that I'll run down for a closing that's downtown, be able to pop in and give them, hey, here are the keys. Hey, I'd love to stay. I only have 10 minutes on the meter, so congratulations, everybody. I'm out of here. There's that. You should order your food ahead on the apps that exist.
Yeah, but even when you do, well, I don't use the apps because then the restaurant gets charged 30,
not
40%.
Grubhub. Okay. Just I mean, but that's more chains, not your local stuff.
Call ahead.
Call ahead and go pick it up.
Yeah, but I've been doing that at least once a week, and I find it's still taking longer than 10 minutes.
Right. What's annoying is trying to find a spot. That takes more than the 10 minutes.
Yeah. Which is why you want the meters, because if there aren't meters, people are just going to sit there.
Or you can just use public transportation.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
And just, if you need to get a sandwich, go ride the bus.
There you go. I have pulled up to a few places. We got empanadas from Che a couple weeks ago, and like that whole block in front of the restaurant was marked off by the city. You didn't have to pay the meter. It was only for curbside pickup. That was a cool idea too.
Yeah. I guess since I never go to downtown, I really don't care.
Fair. Everywhere you go has a big old parking lot.
It does.
Now, are you I need to have the parking spot as close to the place as possible because I'm in a hurry and I got to get in and out? Or are you I park my car far away because I don't want anybody hitting my car kind of a guy?
Well, no, I don't care if people hit my car. I think it's more of I want to park reasonably. Mm-hmm. I won't drive around until I can move up 3 spots.
No.
Will I go down the second aisle if I don't find something close enough on the first? Maybe half the time if I see a spot, I'm like, I'll swing around and go in there.
Yeah.
But no, I don't care that much.
Yeah.
Do you?
I competitively want a really close spot, but I will not drive around for it. I won't even go into a second aisle. But
you're mad.
I weirdly want the close spot, which is so weird because I'm the person that'll take the stairs.
Yeah.
Like I like the extra steps.
So your goal in life is to be is to be like handicap.
No, Brett.
Wouldn't that make you like? Seriously, I think would that make your
it takes the competition away
so much better because you can look at everyone else and say, "Ha!"
No, because
Hope
then it's
you enjoyed
guaranteed.
the walk.
It's guaranteed. I want there to be like
and
some kind of chance in it.
And then you can also have one of those little carts you drive, so it's a win-win. You know,
I could. Yeah. No.
It's true. Well, anyways, let's get down to sports. We have a quick Cincy sports update with 2 stories. Despite COVID-19, the NFL released its full 2020 schedule late last week. The Bengals will be opening the Joe Burrow era at home against the LA Chargers. The Bengals will face their traditional AFC North opponents in addition to the Eagles, Jaguars, Colts, Titans, Redskins, Giants, Dolphins, Texans, and the Cowboys, where Andy Dalton is now. The Bengals will have 3 primetime games. Week 2 against the Browns. That's going to be a Sunday night game. No, that's a Thursday night, I think. That's going to be let's see. Week 2 is a Thursday night with the Browns. Week 3 is a Sunday night game against Philly. And then week 15, right before everyone stops caring about their records, because you start kind of seeing who's going to be seated where, it's going to be Bengals and Steelers on Monday Night Football. So that's probably going to be the big out of the
big
3.
draw. Yeah.
Although the Browns game is also going to be a ton of fun because hopefully Burrow will have a win under his belt.
Yeah.
And be going into that game with a big division rival, and we'll see really, who's the best in Ohio.
Love it.
Yeah.
Obviously the Bengals.
Hopefully the season happens. There may be no fans there, which wouldn't be a big difference, big change for us.
No.
We're kind of used to that.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting.
Yeah.
With 0 crowd noise to see, how those games go. You'll be able to hear the quarterbacks calling everything out. You'll be able to hear players trash talking.
Yeah, it'll be weird.
It'd be kind of cool. Like you'll hear literally the guy kicking the football.
Yeah.
For field goal stuff. You'll hear the sound.
Do you think the
really
players because I know in a lot of sports the players really play better with the noise? You think they'll start piping noise into the stadium?
That's actually a good idea.
Like that?
Yeah.
All the ideas today.
That's actually a really good idea. They should do that.
Yeah.
Fake crowd noise. I wonder why the WWE hasn't done that.
Right.
But yeah,
oh yeah, because that just must be weird.
Because that's weird. It's very quiet.
Yeah.
But they could do that. I wonder if you could get people chanting, or if there's a way that you could people could just call in, and then they would just pump in that audio of just some random fan that's hey Rivers, you suck, and that just goes over the whole thing. You get to call them. They're hey, you have 20 seconds. Go ahead and yell at the people.
Oh, I love that's a great way to monetize that. You could
spend money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. Interesting.
Well, there you go.
All right. Well, despite the current MLS season being indefinitely postponed, FC Cincinnati has continued its campaign for next season's debut of their West End Stadium. Starting this week, fans can start placing $100 deposits to reserve a spot for one of the 4 different club seating areas. The different clubs include the First Financial Club, which range from $1,000 to $1,250 per season ticket. The Cincinnatus Club, $1,700 to $1,900. The Pitch View Club, $3,200 per ticket, and the Tunnel Club, $7,500 to $10,000 per season ticket membership. The team also revealed that the Bailey will be priced at $340 per season ticket, and more pricing for regular seating coming later this summer.
Okay, I understood none of that.
No,
This makes no sense to me. I
it's
get the
just
fact.
different like club levels.
Well, I get that.
Yeah.
I'd rather them say, okay, if you want to sit on the 50-yard line.
Well, and there was also,
whatever that
I
is.
think there was a virtual tour of some sort that was released, and you
So,
could go on and
break
kind of
it-
see where they'd be.
So let's break it down.
Yeah.
Let's give you the Cliff Notes version. All right. So the First Financial Club, where is that located? We don't know.
It's on the sideline.
On the sideline.
So if you want to be on the
say-
sideline, apparently you got to spend a grand to get
Yeah.
the cheapest sideline seats.
Yeah.
It has a beer hall on the inside.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't mentioned in the story. That'd be important to know.
Thanks,
It's like
producer
the
Ryan.
Young Millennial Club.
Okay.
Okay. Then there's a Cincinnatus Club, which you pay another $700, and that gets you.
That's like top corner. Like more like box seating.
Okay.
They described it as like that's the social hangout.
All right, this is the worst way to do this. It's like, let's go to our correspondent who's 3 miles away.
Right.
And
I think we will have producer Ryan.
We're gonna have him
take
explain
care
all
of
this
this in the cleanup.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, let me pull on my tin can with a string, and we'll find the guy down in Mexico who can translate for us what all this stuff means.
I can say that there from what I've heard on some of the groups, a lot of the fans who had regular priced seating, a little more expensive, but regular price seating in the past, that is now, that section in the stadium versus Nippert is going to be club seating. And so they are completely priced out and they're not thrilled. But I don't know who didn't see this coming. Any communication I've gotten from the team that has been asking the fans about what you want to see in the new stadium has completely only been about club and upper echelon seating. That you could tell from all their communication that was really going to be their focus. And
I think they make all their money off of businesses buying that stuff.
Yes.
You don't make a lot on the cheap people.
No. You
So,
do. I mean, obviously, they
what you gotta do.
may end up completing this season with, like you said, with no fans. So you can tell they can still get by without our money. Hopefully, they give it back. Like for some reason,
whose money whose money are we trying to get back? Have you given them money for the stadium?
Well, no.
We're talking about
this
taxes.
this
What are we talking
season,
about?
I've got season tickets, and I have not seen.
You have
yet,
seasons.
obviously.
Oh, and they're still playing at Nippert though.
So there,
Okay.
Well, in theory, yeah. In theory, they will be playing at Nippert.
That's a schedule. Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't know if fans will be there or not.
I look forward to the producer Ryan version to explain the basically you want to sit behind the field goals, although there aren't. Like behind the goals,
No.
it costs you X. On this, it
okay,
costs you
gotcha.
Y.
Yeah.
You want to sit way up in the nosebleed, it costs you this. And that's the way that I want to understand this.
Okay. I hear
I'm
you.
a simple man.
I hear you.
All right?
You want a visual?
I don't even need the visual.
Okay.
I just need, put it in, because, nobody in the world besides the two of you know what a Bailey is, or a tunnel club, or a pitch view.
Everybody that's
you don't
ever
even know.
read
You're a season ticket holder. You don't know.
Everyone who's ever read an article about FC Cincinnati knows what the Bailey is.
Okay. Well, where's that? What's the tunnel club? Where's that?
The tunnel where the players come out.
So you stand in the tunnel.
Your seats are surrounding the tunnel. I think they were talking about there being a clear situation, so you can basically see the players coming out. But again, I know that because they asked if I thought it would be cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, in theory.
Well, let's
yes.
move on. These
Was that
soccer
exhausting, Brad?
stories exhaust me.
Let's go on to
All right.
entertainment.
Well, we have 4 stories for you.
Oh yeah. I don't think it's a truck at all. I think we just found a transformer.
Charlotte, an 8-year-old pig who resides in the Ruberg family backyard in Bridgetown, is facing possible eviction.
Dun, dun.
The Rubergs get several families a day walking by to see the pig and say hello from a safe distance. However, Ruberg received a letter from the rural Hamilton County Zoning Commission informing them that they were violating the code by having a pet pig in their yard. as they consider the pig to be livestock. I don't want to lose the pig. She's a part of the family. Charlotte is not livestock. Now wait, was Charlotte's Web? Charlotte wasn't the pig.
Charlotte was the spider.
Okay, let's make sure. That's not part of the quote. I was going on the tangent. We'll go back to this woman's quote now. Okay. You don't raise pot-bellied pigs to send them to slaughter to eat them. They are pets. End quote. As a result, the entire Bridgetown community has joined forces to appeal the zoning inspectors and save Charlotte. The Rubergs have spoken to them and hope that a deal can be made before the violation expires on May 27th.
There's another pet pig in Delhi, behind C.O. Harrison in the Chapel Hill neighborhood.
I think there's pet pigs everywhere. I used to see one in Norwood.
Did you?
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Have you
George
ever
Clooney had a pet pig, had a potbelly pig as a pet. It slept in his bed.
So there are people that raise potbelly pigs for slaughter.
Rude.
Sorry, our producer just about fell out of his chair, and I thought maybe he's very passionate about pigs.
Maybe.
But he really just, slammed his hand down. I don't know, but anyways, so he's not passionate about them. But the biggest benefit to these potbelly pigs is that it's a lot easier to move them around. So if you're going to be butchering a potbelly pig, if you had like a normal 300-some pound pig, those are hard to carry. But if you right. If you want to like butcher a small pig, that can be done.
Gotcha. So
by
if you
a
just
typical
want to
husband and
raise
wife.
your own pig and like then kill your pig, or like just take it to your local butcher.
Right. And there's a whole underground organization committed to debunking the myth that potbelly pigs are pets.
Oh.
They're very passionate about treating them as livestock and eating them.
Okay.
Almost as big as the people who think that COVID-19 is fake.
Okay, well, you do you. But I guess I'd be interested to see what the county considers livestock, because there's tons of people in Delhi with chickens. Are they not considered livestock?
They are, but most people allow chickens as like...
I'm glad to report that my neighbors have either killed or gotten rid of their rooster. So now they just have regular chickens. Girl chickens. No more crowing all day long.
Yeah.
And this thing crowed all day long. It wasn't just like a morning thing. I actually wouldn't mind that. I'd find it like very quaint all day long.
Yeah.
It was a very confused rooster.
It's a broken cock, as they say.
It was indeed.
Yeah.
So the Metropolitan Sewer District of Greater Cincinnati has a new idea to fight the coronavirus with our poop. Last week, the MSD started a new initiative to study and test samples of raw sewage from 7 different treatment plants across Hamilton County in order to try and better trace and predict new regions of infection. Such large-scale testing of regions could help to know whether restrictions are hurting or helping, if the virus is dead, or if a second wave is about to hit. Eventually, the MSD said they may bypass the treatment plants and start testing the sewers themselves for more specific geographical readings. So, do your part. Keep pooping. Stay regular.
That's right.
Okay. I mean, better than having a swab stuck up your nose, I guess.
Yeah. This is just disgusting. Normally, I have a lot to say about stories like this.
Yeah.
I don't have much. I think I don't want to think about it. Because,
for sure. When I started reading this story, I got like a visual image of just all this sewage, and it really kind of made me gag. But
like somewhere there's someone very passionate about this.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And I think that's great.
Well, I'm sure that there is excellent scientific data that can be, gathered from this kind of thing. But yeah, gross.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. So what else?
Well, if you didn't see you most certainly heard it. Last Thursday, the Ohio Air National Guard did a series of F-16 flybys over Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky hospitals to, quote, salute heroes at the front line in the fight against COVID-19 and lift the spirits and morale of our fellow Ohioans, end quote. The flyby lasted about 17 minutes over Hamilton County. However, the flight missed the Green Township location that was originally on the schedule. It does cost roughly $60,000 an hour to fly a F-16 squadron of jets. So somehow they flew over my neighborhood in Lebanon, which I didn't see on the map. So I don't know if they kind of just flew a little extra, padded the numbers a little bit, made another $30,000 coming out to Lebanon, but it was very cool. We happened to be standing outside looking up came right over top,
Nice.
and it was nice.
Yeah,
But-
I had no idea this was happening until after. I didn't hear them, but I'm
Well-
also like right under the flight path
Yeah.
for CVG, so I wouldn't hear them.
So it was only 2 jets
out, yeah.
that flew around. But I'm like, it kind of made me think, okay, if we were in some sort of a war zone territory and these guys are flying over left and right, it is the scariest thing in the world.
Oh yeah.
Like, it is amazing how sheltered we are here, when it comes to really recognizing the impact of how scary anything like this could be.
Oh, absolutely.
'Cause
I
it-
cannot imagine. Yeah.
It shakes you hearing it.
Yeah.
So-
well, you can't put a price tag on morale.
You can. I thought you were going to say on jets, but you can.
On morale.
It's $60,000 an hour. But morale, no, you're right.
There you go. All right. Well, the Art Climb, a one-of-a-kind outdoor civic and art space on the grounds of the Cincinnati Art Museum, opened last Friday. While some finishing touches are still being made with decorative flowers and sculptures, the 164-step climb, equivalent of 9 stories, connects both Eden Park and the Cincinnati Art Museum to the surrounding Walnut Hills community. The top of the stairs also gives visitors a grand view of the city to make the journey worth it. You can find a picture of it on our socials. Oh, I wish I had known about that. My workout on Saturday was a stair climb challenge, and it was.
Yeah.
I just used my own stairs. But that would have been much more pretty.
Yeah.
Cold, but.
So how many times did you go up and down your stairs?
I would have to do some math, but I did about 600 steps. So 600 divided by 13.
All right. So 600 divided by 13. Let's see. 4, 52, 8, 0, 13 goes into that. 6, that puts 78.2. So
A lot of times.
it's a lot of times.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds like a pretty fun way to do a workout.
Yeah, that's a great way to get outside this weekend.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever climb the stairs.
No.
I don't know. I mean, what kind of art are we talking about? Or is it just steps?
I don't know.
Someone
the
was
steps
complaining
lead you
about,
to
well,
the
what
museum.
about the handicap? And it's like, come on. Can't make everything handicap accessible.
I feel like you gotta know what you can do and what you can't. And you can't expect to do stairs, so you just drive up to the museum and park in that plush handicap spot.
Well, all right.
There you go.
Well, so this weekend, again, there's stuff to do finally.
Yeah.
So do you have any plans?
I don't have any. Well, no, I do have some plans but they're secret. So I'll tell you about them next week.
Oh.
Yeah. We've got some birthdays coming up
Wow.
this week. So I'm not going to divulge anything on here.
We have my wife's grandmother's 92nd birthday on Sunday.
Ooh.
So that's going to be
Nana,
crazy.
happy birthday.
Her name is Nana.
Oh, how'd I guess?
Actually, it's Ruthie. She was in an iron lung at one point in her life.
Oh.
And now she's 92.
Killing it.
Yep. Let's see. So we have that going on. Otherwise, trying to figure out how to work my sprinkler system. That's it.
Ooh, that does sound fun.
It's actually more fun than I like to admit. But and you have nothing going on, it sounds like.
No, I really like a fly by the seat of my pants kind of weekend. Yeah. So other than my Saturday morning, nothing's booked.
Yeah. Well, if you have Netflix and you want to stream something, Netflix series launched a brand new post-World War II series called Hollywood. It's aspiring actors and filmmakers will do almost anything to make their showbiz dreams come true. One of producer Ryan's friends said that it is all sex and no plot, so he immediately watched the entire series and loved it.
Have fun.
So, yeah, we're not endorsing it, but it is content.
It is. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. All right, so if you want to get outside this weekend, which I do like to do, you can head to Miami Whitewater Park and enjoy many of their open activities, such as frisbee golf, regular golfing, and if you have your own canoe or kayak, only about $650 on Facebook Marketplace, so you can go out and find one right now.
Yeah.
Head over to the Little Miami River.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, still plenty of outdoor activities. I think it's going to be warmer this week.
Yeah, let's pray for some good weather.
Yeah. Well, that is it for This Week in Cincinnati. Since you're all stuck indoors, you might as well do us a favor and share this podcast on your social media, as well as rate and review us on iTunes. Now stay tuned for the cleanup with our producer, Ryan Taulbee, as he corrects all the mistakes and misinformation we try to feed you as fact throughout this episode. As for Alysa and myself, have an amazing week. This Week in Cincinnati.
Hello guys, and welcome to Clean Up with producer Ryan. We don't really have a lot to get into, but what we do have to get into is this FC Cincinnati club seating that Brett just does not understand. So let's get into it. We have 4 different clubs that you can put a $100 like pre-order down on to like save your seniority or your place in line. And so we have the First Financial Club, which is the cheapest one at $1,000 a ticket. Like through the whole season, like $1,000 gets you 17 home games. It's like it gives you along the sideline. You have a private entrance that opens 2 hours before the game. It has like its own private beer hall, all this stuff. It's like in the lower bowl along the sideline. So there's that. Then you go up a level and you have the Cincinnati Club, which is like mid the mezzanine, like not in the lower bowl, but not in the upper bowl. It's like in the middle. This has like its own reserved parking. It says that this is a communal experience designed to promote socializing in a setting with architectural nods to Cincinnati's rich history, elevated a la carte food and beverage offerings paired with covered sideline lower level seats. And that is the one that is, let's see, $1,700 to $1,900, and the other one is $1,000. Then you have the Pitch View Club, best views in the house outside an upscale, all-inclusive lounge experience. The Pitch View Club boasts a breathtaking view of the pitch from an all-glass exterior, as well as one-of-a-kind outdoor deck for viewing pleasure. And that is $3,200. That's like in the middle of the stadium. And then finally, we have the Tunnel Club, which is the most unique premium sports ticket in the market, claims FC Cincinnati. A high-end, all-exclusive field-side experience woven into the spectacle of the player walkout tunnel. This intimate premium experience offers only 390 seats total to the ultimate fan experience. This thing's like $10,000. And this is just like, you get your own parking spot. It's like a private indoor club, post-match press conference viewing. I think this is like where the players get ready before the game, so they'll like walk through and then you sit like right next to them. So that is like, I don't even know who this is going to be, who's paying for this in Cincinnati. Who cares that much to want to spend $10,000? Like, I love the club, don't get me wrong, but $10,000 to sit, to watch this team right now, I don't know about that. No matter how rich you are, put that $10,000 and get you a suite at the Reds or something. But anyway, that is what we've got for FC Cincinnati. So I don't know when regular tickets will start being sold, but hopefully that's soon because I cannot afford any of this. But other than that, that's all we got for you guys. So thanks for listening. If you are watching this, hope you enjoyed the new kind of video format we got. We're testing things out. People are just not getting back into the office safely. And so we will let you guys know how that goes, and hopefully you give us some feedback. And other than that, thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys next week on This Week in Cincinnati.